Chapter 10 Lewis' Point of View. I ate dinner quickly, barely tasting it, and went to bed. I couldn't sit around with everyone else. I just wanted to go to sleep so I could wake up early and start looking for summer again. I stripped out of my clothes and went into the bathroom so I could have a shower and save time tomorrow. I haven't touched her shampoo or conditioner. Usually I would use it and she would tell me off because it's expensive and I'm wasting it on my damn hair. I do want to use it anymore. I want it to be for her when she gets back. I showered quickly and got out, wrapping a towel around me and walking into her room. It still smells like her in here. My phone started to ring and I ran to it. I could hear the heartbeat in my ears. God, please be summer. My heart sank when I saw it was Theo. Hello? I said in disappointment. Hey man, you okay? No, you? People keep asking if I'm okay all the time. How can I be okay? I'm okay. I was just wondering if you wanted some company tomorrow. Yeah, sure thing. Two people looking is better than one. The police are searching, not up to the point I'm doing yet. I wanted to go ahead because I can't sit back and wait. No problem. I'll be over at 7. That early enough? Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Theo. I needed to speak to the prick detective tomorrow morning anyway to see if they had any more leads. Hopefully one that will find to leading to her. Okay, see you later. He hung up and I got into bed. Lying on her side of the bed, the pillow smelled like her shampoo. Sometimes I feel like I'm torturing myself by staying in here, but I just need to feel closer to her. There were so many pictures on the wall, most of them were of us. We looked so happy. I looked up and smiled sadly at the one of us kissing. Next to it was one of me, Summer, Henry, Maria, and Jess. It was just before we got together. We had all gone to the cinema and then the Pizza Hut, as Summer was addicted to pizza. I made sure I walked a little slowly, at Summer's pace. Jess pulled Maria forward so they were walking with Henry. They always did things like that so I could be alone with Summer. I would need to thank them. So, you hungry? I asked as we walked towards Pizza Hut. Oh god, what a dick. Could I really not think of anything better to say? Of course I am. It's pizza. She smiled at me, making my heart race. I have liked her for a while, and Henry keeps telling me to just fucking ask her out. But I'm not completely sure if she feels the same way. I think she does, but I can't be sure, and I want to wait until I'm sure in case I mess up everything. We kept talking and flirting as we walked into the restaurant. The others had already got a table. How slow were we walking? I sat down next to Summer and grabbed the menu while she just sat there. You're not looking? I pointed to the menu. She smiled and shook her head. Don't need to. I know my pizza. I chuckled and forced my eyes away from her and back to the menu. Our legs were brushed against each other's, and all I wanted to do was grab her and kiss her. The waiter came to take our order. He kept looking at Summer, not that I blamed him. He finally came to Summer and smiled as he waited. I'll have a medium pizza with chicken, ham, sweet corn, and pineapple, please. He smirked and wrote it down before going into the kitchen. You're having what on your pizza? I asked, turning up my nose. It sounds disgusting. Trust me, you have to try some. Yeah, you gonna feed me? Why haven't you learned to do that yet? I burst out laughing and shook my head. I should have expected that one. I kept talking to Summer the whole time. She was so easy to get along with. Okay, seriously, try some of this, she said, shoving some of her pizza in my mouth. I was laughing as I bit down, a little scared that this was gonna taste like shit. I chewed slowly, frowning. She rolled her eyes and waited. Okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I managed to swallow it, but it still sucked. See? Best pizza ever. Whatever you say, I said sarcastically, throwing a pepper at her. She squealed and was about to pick up some sweet corn, but I grabbed her arm. Hey, you two, behave, Henry said, glaring at us. We both started laughing. Did your brother just tell us off? Yep, she replied, still giggling. We finally left, and Summer had a box with the rest of her pizza, which she was going to have for breakfast. As before, we were walking quite far behind the others, flirting and messing around. Screw it. I slipped my hand in hers, entwining my fingers with hers. My heart was beating so fast, I thought it was going to burst out of my chest. Is she going to pull her hand away? I looked over at her and she smiled at me. I smiled back and squeezed her hand gently. I closed my eyes and continued picturing her beautiful face until I fell asleep. Hopefully tomorrow will be better and we'll find her. I woke up at 6 when my alarm was going off. I jumped out of bed and got changed quickly before practically running downstairs. Some police and volunteers were outside already, checking maps for where they were searching. Today is the 13th day she's been missing. Some people think she's dead already. They don't say anything, but I can see it in their eyes. The police are still confident that we'll find her alive, but I know that soon they will say they're looking for a body. She's not dead. I'm sure I would know if she was. I made small talk with Summer's parents and my mom. My dad was at home with Theo. They were both coming over at 7. Theo was coming with me today, and Dad will go with Summer's dad as usual. They followed the police search though. I ate breakfast quickly and went outside to talk to the detective before Theo got here. Good morning, Lewis, Detective Jones said as I approached him. I don't like him very much. They keep things from us and it drives me crazy. Morning. How's everything going? We're widening the search area and have more officers coming in today to help with the search. Some will go door to door. He rubbed his mustache and looked at the map. Right, good. And has anyone else called in with any information? We had a call last night, but it was a false sighting. What? When? Why didn't you call me? Lewis. It was a false sighting. We checked it out, he said, losing his cool a little. He was getting annoyed with me, but I didn't care. He should have told me. Well, you didn't know it was false at the time, did you? We got a call at midnight. I don't care what fucking time it was. You call me if you hear anything. There was nothing you could do at that time, Lewis. I had officers check it out, and if it was Summer, you all would have been notified immediately. I clenched my jaw and took a couple of deep breaths to calm myself. I wanted to punch him. This was a job to him, but it's everything to me. She's everything. My dad and Theo pulled up, and I walked away from him before I did something that I probably wouldn't regret later, but would probably get me arrested. I said hi to my dad as I passed him and jumped in the car with Theo. We said morning and drove off towards the woods again. I could see Theo look at me out of the corner of his eye. He looked sad and concerned. We stopped just ahead of where we were, of where we would start looking, and grabbed our bags. I sighed and started walking through the forest, like I do every day. Theo followed closely behind as we searched. Please let me find her soon. Summer's point of view. I woke up and my head felt fuzzy. My throat was sore from crying so much yesterday. I could still feel his hands on my hair. It made my skin crawl. I didn't want him to touch me. I didn't want him anywhere near me. Lily, are you okay? Rose asked softly as she sat down on my bed. I clenched my jaw shut to stop myself from screaming at her. My name is Summer. Fine, I lied. She nodded, but she didn't believe me and I didn't care. You need to have a shower. Clover will be down for breakfast in half an hour. I sighed in defeat and got up. What else could I do? I showered quickly and got dressed. Putting on a little makeup, the sick feeling began to rise with every passing second. I stayed in the bathroom for as long as I could, not wanting to be in that room for longer than I had to. Someone knocked on the door, and I knew it meant I had to come out, because he was coming. I opened the door and walked out with shaking hands. He wasn't here yet. Rose and Poppy both smiled at me and continued putting food on the plates. The cellar door opened and I jumped back. He walked down the stairs almost gracefully. How can someone look so normal but be so fucking crazy? Good morning, Flowers, he said cheerfully as he smiled at us. I said morning at the same time as Rose and Poppy, so he wouldn't single me out if I didn't say it like before. He sat down in his usual seat and gestured for me to sit opposite him. I held my breath and sat down, gripping the chair so tight my fingers were hurting. It scared me how normal he seemed. His clothes and his hair were always perfect, and he was polite when he wasn't murdering innocent girls. He really was the perfect killer. Who would suspect him? We ate breakfast as usual, with him telling us about how he was leaving work early to shop for us because he didn't think our clothes were appropriate anymore. Rose and Poppy nodded in agreement. Personally, I don't care what clothes he thinks are appropriate, and I don't care what I have to wear down here. Finally, after what seemed like hours, he finally got up to leave. I'll bring you a paper again today, he said proudly as he kissed Rose and Poppy on the cheek. He was proud that he kidnapped me. I can tell by the way he gets excited when he sees me on the front page of the paper. Sick bastard. He took a step closer to me and my heart stopped. What's he doing? He stopped right in front of me and I clenched my hands into fist, digging my nails into the palm of my hands and biting down on my tongue so I wouldn't throw up yet. He leaned down and pressed his lips to my cheek. I tensed every muscle in my body and fought against the urge to be sick. My skin was crawling and I wanted to scream. He pulled away after a second and walked away. I felt dirty and needed to be sick. I managed to wait until he walked out of the cellar before I ran to the bathroom and threw up in the toilet. Lily here. Lily here. Poppy handed me a glass of water and 2 pills. I tried to smile at her, but I couldn't. I popped the pills in my mouth and swallowed them with water. Everything's going to be fine, but you need to be strong. Who knows, maybe one day we'll get out of here. She said the last part quietly, and almost a whisper. I wonder if she actually believes that I do. I have to. He's getting worse, isn't he? I sobbed. He was much more violent and he was starting to like me. And what was with getting us new clothes? More control? God, how much more did he need? We already relied on him for everything. Yes, she whispered.